Hi guys, Mike here again with another episode of Tips and Tricks, and today we're going to be looking at holes and patterns. So for someone just starting out, you may find that the way to make a hole is by making a sketch, drawing a circle, and making a cutting extrusion. And that works fine, but it has limitations. Say you wanted to make this a threaded hole. So depending on what thread you want, you may not know how big the diameter of the hole should be. So that's a problem. Also, if you want to make a counterbore, you could also make a circle and extrude that too, like that. And now it's starting to feel like too much work. But say instead of counterbore you wanted an angled countersink, and now it's starting to get really tricky. So what I'll do is delete the feature in the thread, make a new sketch, and instead of a circle, I want to put down a point. Finish the sketch. And then you'll see this feature appear called hole. And you see it automatically picks up the point you just put down. And then it also gives you all these other options. You could make it a clearance hole, you could give it threads, or this other red thing that I don't know what you would use for. Let me see. You could make it a drilled hole, you could add a counterbore, spot face, or countersink, depending on what you want. And you can also change the termination and the drill point. So basically everything you'd ever want in a hole is right here, and it's certainly easier than extruding a circle. So now you know how to make holes smartly. Let's move on to patterns with an example. This is a belly pan, and you'll notice that it has a lot of holes and a lot of triangles. Now you can imagine it would get a little cumbersome to sketch and extrude each of those features individually. I just see a waste of precious time there. So this is, in situations like these, it's where patterns come in handy, and that's what you'll notice in the browser here. So over here, this is a sketch I made, and it works well for demonstrating patterns. So I'll extrude this here. And I'll use the browser to make the sketch visible. Add some holes. So the way patterns work, they're over here. You have different types like rectangular, circular, and mirror. We'll start off with circular. And so you see here, you need to choose your feature. I'll pick the holes I just created. And then you also need an axis of rotation. And once you've done that, it'll give you other options like total number of repetitions, and then total angle, and then whether or not to split down the middle. And so you see how it did that. In rectangular patterns, works similarly, except in a straight line instead of a circle. So basically, you need to select the feature and a direction. And directions will be perpendicular to a plane and parallel to an edge. So if I go that way, I can change the direction here. Change the spacing by 0.25. So there, it sort of projected all that was there onto here. And so what's left is mirror. Mirror works a little differently. Besides the features, you need a plane to reflect it off of. For simplicity's sake, I'll just drop down the origin in the browser here and use this plane to reflect. And so it took the features on this side, mirrored them across this plane to give you the features on this side. Pretty easy, pretty useful. And that's it for holes and patterns. Hopefully you found this video helpful. I've been Mike, and I'll see you next time.